We are just a couple of days away from With Love Megan being released on Netflix. This made me curious about what the situation was like when the other Netflix show, Harry and Meghan, the mockumentary, was also released on Netflix. So I went into and looked at the circumstances happening in 2022, from accepting an award for fighting institutional racism within the monarchy to imitating Catherine, Princess of Wales' style. There's just so much to uncover. I am so ready to get into this, but before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe.
But I mean, we don't get out much because our kids are so small and young. So this is completely unexpected. But it's nice to share date night with all of you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for bringing me on this very special date night.
You're welcome.
So this is it. This is the night that they accepted that award for fighting institutional racism within the monarchy. The hilarious thing is that the host of the event, Alec Baldwin, does not believe that there's racism in the royal family. Here, watch this clip.
Do you think the royal family's racist?
No.
Do you think the royal family's racist?
No.
I wanted to verify that they really did accept this award and exactly what the award was about. And I found this headline in Business Insider from November 20, 2022. This article is titled Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to receive prestigious human rights award for calling out structural racism within the royal household. So this is not some conspiracy that's coming out. They actually received an award for fighting institutional racism in the royal household. During this speech that they gave, there was a joke about date night at the awards that I showed you previously. But what we didn't see was that Harry and Meghan called for a wave of change. This article says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex landed in New York City for the award ceremony, which honors individuals for their charitable efforts, and won the Robert F. Kennedy Ripple of Hope Award. So this was published the day after the event on December 7th, 2022. Harry and Meghan have given a speech after receiving an award at the Ripple of Hope Awards in New York City. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex touched down in New York City for the glamorous award ceremony, which honors individuals for their charitable efforts. They won the prestigious Robert F. Kennedy Ripple of Hope Award for challenging the firm's power structure. Okay, so much to say about this. So I've said before that Meghan is a competitor and not a collaborator. So she is not someone that believes in teamwork, that can actually do teamwork. In order to have a monarchy, it means that there's a hierarchy. It means that there's someone at the top. It means that there are rules. It means that there is a power structure. How can you not believe that there's a power structure? And it has nothing to do with racism and everything to do with when you were born, what relation you are to the monarch. The article continues. They talked about sweeping down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance as they were honored at the event. It comes after Harry and Meghan made bombshell claims about racism within the royal family during an explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey. Again, they told Tom Bradby in an interview later that they never said that the royal family was racist. What are they talking about, sweeping down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance? What are they talking about? In my opinion, their attendance here was just to draw attention to them and hopefully boost the viewership of the mockumentary. As Harry and Meghan were walking into the event, and on the red carpet, there was actually some heckling happening in the audience. This article talks about that. And before we get into it, I'm just going to show you a clip of that heckling.
Destroying the royal family! Meghan! You destroyed the royal family!
Harry, do you have a message for your family?
Harry, are you putting money before family? Are you putting money before family?
Family question.
I want to mention that I don't think that Harry and Meghan destroy the royal family at all. In fact, I think they've made them a lot more popular, and it's because we're seeing the contrast in behavior between Harry and Meghan and the royal family, we're seeing more and more that they are motivated by money. That implies that they will do anything for money. So, in this particular article, they're talking about the body language, and the article is titled Prince Harry's Body Language Looks Keen to Get Away from Heckling at His Keynote Event. Meghan and Prince Harry stepped out in New York on Tuesday evening to accept an award at the Ripple of Hope Awards. However, they were heckled walking into the venue and asked many probing questions from journalists about their Netflix documentary. I'm just going to skim through this article, but I just want to highlight this line here. It says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex got mixed reception upon entering the venue. Meghan ignored the protester and continued from the car straight inside the building. However, Harry appeared to close his umbrella right in front of the press cameras to avoid any more footage being recorded. Later on, inside the venue, the Duke and Duchess were asked a few questions about their upcoming Netflix documentary, which they both declined to answer. And I just want to reiterate that they accepted this award on December 6, 2022. This is 2 days before Harry and Meghan, the mockumentary, was released. This is a strategic move that they made, and I think it was to continue to reinforce this idea that they are victims, that there was racism that they were fighting. However, when Harry was asked on Tom Bradby's interview if he or Meghan ever said that the royal family is racist, he said that he never said that. Meghan never said that it was the press that made that up. If that's the case, why did they accept this award? So return this award. It just goes to show you what hypocrites they truly are. The timing of this award is suspicious. So this was actually called the Ripple of Hope Award, and it's designed to try to make them look heroic. It reinforces this victimhood narrative and Meghan's image control. Meghan has continuously framed herself as a victim of the royal family's coldness, racism, and mistreatment, despite the lack of concrete evidence beyond these claims. And in fact, the evidence points the opposite way. Meghan is trying to reframe personal decisions as a heroic struggle against oppression rather than taking accountability for their own actions. If you think about the purpose of the Harry and Meghan mockumentary, it was to try to explain why they left the royal family. And the majority of that was to cast negative thoughts and opinions, including racism and coldness, on the royal family. So truly accepting this award ties in hand with the release of Harry and Meghan. The acceptance of this award is strategic timing. She's reinforcing that victim narrative, and she's also seeking validation from the public, accepting an award for bravery that they had arguably not earned. Public opinion of them, even though the media and press might have shown that things were positive, people were already starting to wake up. At this point, the Oprah interview had happened about a year and a half ago. The Oprah interview was like March 2021, 3 weeks before Prince Philip passed away. And now this award and Harry and Meghan, the mockumentary, are coming out December of 2022. And this is actually happening 3 months after, actually 3 months to the day after the passing of Her Majesty the late Queen. Let's talk about a couple of other events that happened before the release of Harry and Meghan. In July of 2022, Tom Bower's book Revenge was released. That book had bombshell after bombshell about Meghan's awful behavior towards other people, towards her family, towards staff. Bullying allegations against Meghan had already surfaced, and in fact, there were multiple resignations since her marriage to Prince Harry in 2018. Jason Knopf, a former senior aide, raised concerns about Meghan's behavior, which she denied, labeling the allegations as part of a smear campaign. The investigation was initiated in 2021, and by June 2022, the palace announced that the findings would not be made public. So it's really interesting that about a month after this was the release of Revenge, and you could go read for yourself the things that Tom Bower is saying about Meghan and her treatment of staff. In Tom Bower's Revenge, we also learn about the tension between Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Meghan. We know about how Meghan compared Princess Charlotte unfavorably to her friend Jessica Mulroney's daughter, Ivy. We know about Catherine crying and the reason why she was crying, how Catherine was so upset at how Meghan was treating the staff, and that this brought Catherine to tears. And I mean, if you couple all of this together with Megxit, their behavior when the Oprah interview came out, their behavior at the Platinum Jubilee, the bullying allegations that really started as early as 2015, probably even earlier, and Tom Bower's Revenge, public perception and popularity of Harry and Meghan, it was pretty low. And actually, a significant portion of the public in the UK viewed the documentary as a bad idea, and trust in its accuracy was also low. So I think that's why it was important for Harry and Meghan to try to do an event like the Robert Kennedy Human Rights Award to accept this award. It was a way to, I don't know, maybe gloss over all of the awful things and allegations that had been said against them. It's interesting to me that earlier this week there were reports of Meghan potentially going to the Academy Awards happening on Sunday, tomorrow, 2 days before the release of With Love Meghan. And there is a parallel to that and this award ceremony happening in 2022. So, this award ceremony was on December 6th, 2022, and the mockumentary was released 2 days later on the 8th. So, I'm not sure that Meghan will go. In fact, I highly doubt that she will go. I highly doubt that she will be invited to attend the Academy Awards. She has no reason being there. The article that I talked about in 2 videos ago or last video was about how the connection that's being made about Meghan potentially being invited to the Oscars is because of the role she played during the LA fires. And this is a joke. This is a complete joke. They were a roadblock during the LA fires. They were taking up resources, including space on the highways, including the time of first responders and city officials. Incredibly selfish. They were trespassing on people's properties at the time. I live really close to the fire area, and in fact, my one of my relatives has a home in Altadena. So I was very closely following everything that was happening. And on the day these two went and walked around Altadena, that day they were sending cadaver dogs out there because they didn't know if there were people left behind. There's absolutely no reason why they should have been there. There is no redeeming quality for them being there. And to reward them with an invitation to the Academy Awards is ridiculous. If they really want to honor people involved in the LA fire, they should be donating this ticket, this entrance, or whatever to first responders who actually showed heroic action. So, I was just mentioning that by this point, December of 2022, we knew a little bit about the tensions between Meghan and Catherine, Princess of Wales. And what I want to do is talk about a couple of the events that Princess Catherine was involved in that occurred a few days before and a few days after the release of the documentary. So, just as a reminder, the documentary and mockumentary, I'm going to use those exchangeably, but or interchangeably, but I mean the mockumentary. It was released in two parts on December 8th and December 15th, right in the midst of the royal family's Christmas engagements. And remember, this is the first Christmas without the Queen. So I think that the family already was probably somber. And to be honest, this shows a lack of self awareness on Harry and Meghan's part that I don't know. This is the first holiday season that the UK lost their queen, that Harry lost his grandmother, that Harry's dad lost his mother. Incredibly short sighted, incredibly selfish, and just a complete lack of awareness, honestly. So, Meghan, as a narcissist, will often time major announcements or public displays to overshadow others. especially those that they might feel threatened by. So, releasing this documentary in December, when the royal family was emphasizing tradition and unity, it ensured a contrast, positioning Harry and Meghan as rebellious, misunderstood victims. This timing was on purpose, in my opinion. So, just as a reminder, this is the outfit that Meghan was wearing at the Ripple of Hope gala. Her dress was a custom creation from Louis Vuitton, and it was specifically made for her. The exact price of the gown hasn't been publicly disclosed, but similar Louis Vuitton dresses typically range from $5,000 to $10,000 depending on design and material. The dress had a slit down the center, which, if you look at that third picture on the right, the slit goes up pretty high, in my opinion. She was also wearing Princess Diana's aquamarine ring, a significant piece that she first wore at her wedding reception in 2018. So there's been a lot of question about whether or not Meghan has the actual version of this ring or if this is a replica. And I don't know about that, but she still wants to give that illusion of wearing Princess Diana's ring. According to reports, after Diana's passing, the ring was inherited by Prince Harry and he gifted it to Meghan. The ring is estimated to be around 30 carats and holds significant sentimental value, symbolizing a connection to Princess Diana's legacy. So, why would she do that? I think she's trying to overshadow what's happening with the royal family. So, in early December 22, on December 2nd, actually, so 4 days before this event, Princess Catherine attended the Earthshot Prize Awards in Boston, wearing this beautiful lime green off the shoulder gown by Solis London. Emphasizing sustainability, she actually rented this dress from the UK platform HURR, Her. She accessorized it with an emerald and diamond choker that once belonged to Princess Diana. It's estimated that the cost of the dress is $430 and that rental could range from $90 to $240. A lot of people have speculated that Meghan's dress 4 days later at the Ripple of Hope Awards was very similar to Princess Catherine's dress. And I guess I could see that perhaps in the open shoulder and maybe that there's an empire waist. I think that's what it's called. Um, but other than that, I don't see very much similarity between the two. I mean, Catherine just wore her so well. This is one of my favorite outfits that Catherine has worn. But let's compare and contrast these two looks. Princess Catherine chose to rent her gown, and this highlights her commitment to sustainable fashion practices, aligning with the environmental focus of the Earthshot Prize. In contrast, Meghan's custom made gown reflects a preference for high fashion pieces. Catherine and Meghan wore jewelry with historical significance. Meghan with Diana's aquamarine ring, and Catherine with the emerald choker. So it's very possible that Meghan was inspired by Catherine's look at the Earthshot Awards. She was attending the Diplomatic Corps reception at Buckingham Palace. She wore this stunning red gown by Jenny Packham, complemented by the lotus flower tiara and diamond earrings that once belonged to Queen Elizabeth II. This is another one of my favorite looks. So imagine Meghan is accepting an award for fighting institutional racism within the British royal family, and Princess Catherine is looking elegant and as beautiful as always. Let's move on to December 15, 2022. This was when the second half of Harry and Meghan mockumentary was released on Netflix. On that day, Catherine was the host of the event titled Royal Carols Together at Christmas. All of these appearances were widely covered in the media, showcasing Princess Catherine's elegant style and royal duties during a period of heightened public interest due to the mockumentary's release. And I think I can say it, but Catherine won, in my opinion, and allegedly. So I'm curious to know what you think about all of this. Do you see similarities between the release of With Love Meghan coming out in a couple days and the circumstances surrounding the release of the mockumentary in 2022? I'd love to hear what you think. Please drop them in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you will know every time I drop a new video. I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.